by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe.
Today is Monday. Welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Lorenzo, and thank you for watching. If you feel like you want to subscribe, definitely be sure to comment, like, subscribe to my channel. The vibes are definitely here, okay? I am the vibe. I try to create a vibe at least. First off, I want to give a big shout out to Matt and Brittany in Newport Richey. Thank you guys for the positive words of encouragement, for the, just like, Darren told me what you guys said about me at work. And I was just like, oh my God. I was just like, thank you. I don't know. It's just, I never thought it would be like that. Like, I never saw myself. Okay, first off, let me rewind. Let me rewind. Backstory. So Darren actually came to me maybe like last week, a few days ago now, and he was just like, my coworkers really love your vlog. They like love your channel. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you. And he was like, Matt and Brittany, they literally like wait for your videos to come out. And he was like, Brittany said, tell Lorenzo he didn't have to play with my face like that for my last vlog that I opened the door. Not the last vlog, but the part one of the cruise vlog where I was opening the door. I guess you guys thought you were gonna get a room tour, but no room tour, baby. Not yet. So I ended it there. You know, you gotta make you stay tuned. To be continued, okay? But no, so he told me that, and it put the biggest damn smile on my face, because I'm just like, okay, that's motivation for me to keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I am still very new to this YouTube thing, y'all. Very new. I'm not an expert. I just do what I can do. Like, I do what I feel. Like, my channel is not scripted. My channel is like authentic. It's me. Like, point blank, period. Like I always say, who you see on this camera right now, who you see is who you will see in person. I'm very blunt when it comes to certain things. I'm very much, I have an opinion when it comes to certain things. Sometimes every opinion may not be right, but it's just my opinion. This is the world we live in. So, and plus I'm older now. Like, things shift, things change, people change. So I don't try to like label myself, you know what I'm saying? I try to keep it honest and just real, raw, and uncut. That is who I am. So I want to give a big shout out to them. There are a few other people in the comments that always show me a lot of love. Like, I really want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Like, thank you to all my love bugs out there. Just thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for just commenting. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for all of that. I really appreciate it. So I'm giving y'all hearts, virtual hearts, and hugs. And y'all probably like, how many times you gonna wear this shirt? Baby, this is my work from home shirt. I wear this shirt at least once a week. At least once a week. Yes, I have clothes, so I don't want y'all think I got no clothes. I got clothes. Y'all know that. But yeah, today is Monday, July the 15th, and this is day one of vlog day. I just got off of work, wrapped that up not too long ago. Now, as you can see, I am back in the kitchen, and tonight, I think we're gonna make a quick little meal in the pot roast. Not in the pot roast, in the crock pot. I got some beef tips from the meat market. Child, I got this pizza last night, knowing I wasn't gonna eat this. I don't even know why I did that to myself. I know I wasn't gonna eat that damn pizza. I knew that. But I got some beef tips. And the refrigerator is looking like it actually got some stuff in it now. How many pounds is this? Almost 2 pounds, so this is perfect. Because it said 2 pounds on the recipe. So I'm gonna do, this is like 1.8 pounds. 1.81 pounds. Okay. So that works. I'm going to clean this meat. I'm gonna clean this meat and talk to y'all in the process of it. I feel like with this new camera, y'all, I'm just all over the place. I love how it follows me. It is crazy. Oh my goodness. This is my life. I can't believe that. I can't believe it. I can't. I really can't. Like, this is really reality for me at this point. But no, I wanted to talk to y'all while I cook. Hopefully, let's clean her off. Hopefully you guys can hear me well. Ooh. Now it went down, the camera that went down to the sink. That is crazy. But I love that. Let's clean her off because she did fall on the ground. And please don't mind the mess, y'all. The cabinet, it's a mess. I ain't cleaned it. I did not clean up just yet. Oh, I hope I got vinegar. I don't think I got any vinegar to clean this meat with. How do I shift it back up? I need the camera to go back up now. And what's cool is I can watch y'all from here. That's how I can see if I'm in frame and stuff by just watching you guys on the app. So that's a plus for me. Let's shift you guys back up. There we go. And I'm back. And I don't have any freaking vinegar to clean this meat with. So, what do? I have lemon. Will lemon work? Lemon and like salt, don't that do it too? I don't need this. But yeah, I want to chat with y'all. So, by the time this comes out, I should be at 1,000 subscribers. So this is the point of me doing this video because I actually filmed some clips when I first got the camera, which I really don't like the quality, not the quality, I don't like the color that I did because I didn't know how to work the settings. So the colors is like really super gray. Like I'm like washed out, like overly like, I ain't like that. So in those clips, I had mentioned that I was going to do a get to know me with you guys, kind of like while I, you know, prepare and cook and stuff like that. So it's not gonna really take me that long. It's not really gonna take me that long to cook this. I'm literally putting it in a putting it in the crock pot. But I can talk to y'all and y'all can get to know me a little bit more. While I do that, since I probably already have reached 1,000 subscribers. So like I said, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for watching. Like every comment does not go unnoticed. I can guarantee you that. Every comment does not go unnoticed. Like everything that you guys say, I read it personally. Whether it's 1 o'clock in the morning, 4 p.m., 2 p.m., I read those comments because I need to know. I genuinely need to know how you guys feel. Like, are there any areas of improvement on my end that I could do when it comes to, you know, editing and things like that? I feel like also it's a process for me being a new vlogger because listen y'all, and Brian, he be trying to sell me out sometimes. He was like, oh, you're not tech savvy anyway. I was like, you know what, girl? I'm not tech savvy. I'm really not. I am, but I'm not. Like when it comes to certain things, I don't. You know, the kids these days, and it's crazy that I can say that now because I'm at that age, but the kids these days, child, they be knowing all these tips and tricks and baby Unc right here is 37 years old and he be confused about what be going on. So I gotta make a way. Lemon. But I do want to say thank you guys for the 1K, and I'm gonna give y'all this video here. Maybe I'll go live at some point. We'll see. How do I push this down? Maybe I want to go down some. I don't want to track my face. Hold on. I'm trying to figure this out. No? Okay, there we go. Still get used to the camera, y'all, so bear with me, okay? Want to make sure I am in the frame. There we go. Now y'all can see what's going on. So I'm seasoning this. I'm going to use the whole lemon, not lime, to get this together. Clean my meat. I think I'm going to add a little bit of salt to it just because I feel like I read somewhere that that's what you're supposed to do. I could be wrong. But if I am, it's a culture moment, so let me know. However, I do know lemon. You can clean meat with lemon because I don't have any vinegar. So that's what we're doing. But I want to get to know me. Like I keep saying and repeat myself that I'm going to say it, but I haven't said anything just yet. So I want to do a quick get to know me. Get to know Lorenzo, right? So where do I start? I guess I can start from where I am from. So I'm originally from Washington, D.C. Born. Not raised, but born. No, not raised. I was not raised in D.C. Well, my dad and everybody else was raised in D.C. but me. My grandparents are from Virginia. My grandmother's from New Jersey on my dad's side. My grandfather is from Virginia on my dad's side. And then my grandparents on my mom's side are from Maryland. Or DC, like DC. So, I'm from DC, born. I was raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, yeah, Stone Mountain to be exact, but you know. Born in Georgia, raised in Georgia, lived there pretty much my whole life, moved to Florida twice at one point. And now I am here, back in Florida again. So I moved to Florida when I probably was like, I want to say between not two, because I lived here. I lived in Maryland until like 4. So I left Maryland at 4 years old, moved to Florida for like 2 years, I believe. So from 4 to 6, Florida, and from like 6 to grown man, like 18, 19, I lived in Atlanta, Stone Mountain area. So I was there for, pretty much my whole upbringing, like school, high school, all that stuff like that. I moved to Orlando with my dad because once I was out of school, I didn't want to, I wanted my freedom. And I was a boy and I wanted to be free. And my grandparents were very strict when it came to like the lifestyle that I wanted. They wanted for me. So essentially, I didn't want that. I'm young, I'm like 18, I want to be free. I see my friends going away to college. I see everybody like living their best lives and like being kids. But unfortunately, I couldn't be that way. I was raised a Jehovah's Witness for one. So if you know Jehovah's Witness background, you can't really celebrate holidays. You can't really celebrate birthdays and anything like that. Like it's strictly straight line. So of course, there are certain things I couldn't really have a girlfriend. I couldn't talk on the phone. At the time, I was dating girls because I wasn't comfortable because I was trying to what's the word I'm looking for? I was trying to abide by the rules of the household. So I wasn't ready to come out and live my truth because I didn't want to disappoint my family because I know how like religious my grandparents were. So I didn't want to hurt anybody or make anybody upset. So I had girlfriends, but they wouldn't even know I couldn't even have a girlfriend. So, do I not have any salt? So I couldn't have a girlfriend, and I don't think I have no salt, y'all. Well, I have this. I can use this. But I don't have no regular. I try to stay away from salt because of high blood pressure, which is hereditary in my family. So So I try to stay away from that, but I'll use this. I'll put this in here. Clean it. But yeah. So what I was saying, what the hell was I saying? I got sidetracked that quick. So no, I was raised by my grandparents, very strict household. So when 18 hit, I wanted to go. Came to my dad because of course he was, living his life. My dad is only like 18, 19 years older than me. Him and my mother had me really, really young. So they were kids when they had me. So, as I'm getting older, they still kind of young and living their life. So, that happened. I wanted to live with him. So I ended up coming to Orlando. That's how I ended up in Orlando. But the funny part is, my grandmother was like, you can go. And I cried. When I say I cried the whole way down here, I cried real bad. Cause I didn't know like anything. Like she was just like, just go down there, and you can go down there, and you can come back when summer's over. So I was like, okay, and I was a grandmother's boy. Like I'm attached to my nana. Like my grandmother, attached to her. When I say that, I mean that. So, and if anybody knows me, they know Dorothy was my rock. Like I would just lay on her chest. Things like that. But yeah, so I wanted to come down here. I cried the whole way down, and then that's when I kind of like moved in with my dad. I lived with my aunt for a brief period first. So it was my aunt, my cousin, in an apartment that we all shared, like a 2-bedroom. And then my dad ended up getting his own apartment in the same complex. So I ended up leaving her to go with him because of course I had my own room there. So once I got my own room, that was a wrap. I got a little job. My first job was working at Marshall's, doing like cashier, fitting room, all that. That was my very first job, working at Marshall's, which was maybe like 5 minutes down the road. And I used to take the bus. Either I would take the bus or I would have someone pick me up or drop me off. So that was pretty much my routine when it came to that. But I'm just thinking about it, like that was crazy how that shit was like so long ago. I was 18 years old. I was turning 18 because I remember I celebrated my birthday while I was at work. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm grown now. I'll never forget. I got my first cell phone from T-Mobile when I turned 18, which I think this is the same number I've had for that amount of time. I've never changed my number. Actually, no, I'm lying. That's not. I changed my number once I left T-Mobile and came to AT&T. So that's when my number changed. But yeah. So I ended up coming to Florida. That's how I ended up here. So let me stay on track, child. That's how I ended up in Florida when I turned 18. I wanted to break free. I wanted to run wild and live life. However, I didn't think that my dad would have like a strict, like, I don't want to say curfew, but like he had rules, of course, in his household as well. So I couldn't stay out past 2 o'clock. And if I did, don't bring it behind home. I'm like, oh. Okay, so I remember I went out. I went out one night and I didn't come back home because I just knew I was grown. Like if I'm paying a couple of bills or two, the water bill, light bill, because I had to pay a bill. Like if I'm working, he made sure I had to pay a bill. And back then, I think I was getting paid like $6 or $7 an hour, which is crazy. But rent was way cheaper back then too, so it made sense. However, I didn't come home one night and that man went off on me. You hear me? He's like, oh, you think you wrong? Da, 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 da. I was just like, dang, like, yeah. I was like, me being a boy, I didn't think it would be a problem. But essentially his purpose was for me not to stay out late. It was for me to be responsible and kind of like grow. So I appreciate that because I think I needed that because I didn't want to get derailed. Especially with like living with him, you know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate that aspect of parenting when it comes to making sure your child stays on focus. Sometimes it's hard to do it, you know what I'm saying? Because the teenagers, especially, like, they want to do what they want to do. Like, I was that teen. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. But I still had freedom with him, so I appreciated that. But you know, I learned not to come in too late. I said, it's 1:30, y'all. I gotta go back home. So I would be home by 2 o'clock in the morning, by 2 a.m. So I moved here, and then eventually I stayed with him for maybe like a year or 2 years. And then I ended up moving out into my very first place. No, I'm lying. I stayed with him until I was 22 years old. So from 18 to 22, I stayed with my dad. And then I got my own, not my own apartment, but I had roommates. We all moved into a 3-bedroom apartment. And that lasted roughly about 6 months. And then one of the roommates ended up moving out. And that left me and the other roommate stuck because we had to find a new place. But thankfully we did find a new place within like a couple of days after he moved out. So we found a new place, ended up moving into that place, and then I lived with that person for roughly, how long was I with him? 4 years maybe? So from I'm gonna say from 22 till 25, 26, I lived with him. And then him, Brian, that you guys know from Meet the Maslins, and then this other person, we all end up living together in a 4-bedroom house with BJ. So we ended up moving to a 4-bedroom house. That lasted a year, baby. That was a disaster. That's a whole other story. Child. But we ended up staying together for a year, and then he ended up moving out. The other roommate ended up moving out. So then it was just me and Brian in the house and BJ, which we had to like finish out the lease with, which was maybe a couple of months, maybe like 4 or 5 months, I believe. So that ended up happening. And then once that lease was over, Brian, that you guys know, him and I ended up roommating for a year. Yeah, it was a year. We ended up roommating for a year. And then that's when I ended up moving back to Atlanta. I moved back to Atlanta in 2015 for almost a year. Was in a relationship with a person that, you know, it just did not work out. We were on 2 separate paths. It just did not. I'm talking, I ain't even seasoned in the meat, child. You see how I get sidetracked? But I'm gonna add some olive oil to this before I forget. Okay, so yeah, I was in a relationship, ended up meeting somebody, moved to Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta. I ain't even gonna play with y'all like that. I'm gonna be real. I moved to Atlanta because I thought this person was, you know, my forever person, but they were not, unfortunately. So I ended up moving back to Atlanta, and during that time frame, everything was just going wild. I took a temp job in Atlanta when I moved up there, and ended up getting like not fired, but like laid off because it was temp. So that didn't last long. And what else? Found out the young man that I was with was doing stuff on the side. It was just a whole mess. It was a mess. It was a hot ass mess. But I feel like it had to happen in order for me to, you know, be on this journey. Like, that's what I had to go through in order to grow and learn. So here we are when it comes to that. I need this. So that ended up happening. And what else? Lived with Brian for a couple of years. Lived with Brian for a year, moved to Atlanta, ended up not liking Atlanta the way, because I had been gone for so long, like Atlanta was not Atlanta anymore to me. Like, I was just like, what the hell is this? So I ended up coming back to Florida, right? Stayed with Brian for maybe a month until my apartment got ready in Orlando. And at the time, Brian was living in Port St. Lucie at the time. No, I'm lying. He was living in Fort Lauderdale. That's when he was living in Fort Lauderdale. So I drove to Fort Lauderdale to meet him, to you know, stay with him for a few days until my apartment was ready here in Orlando. So that's what happened. And I think you guys, I would say ever since that situation happened, like me coming back, I feel like that was my journey, that was my path I had to take. I feel like really like God was like, no, you need to go back to Florida and you need to do what you need to do. And it's crazy how everything happened, because when I came here, my intentions were not to move back to Orlando. My intentions were to move to West Palm Beach, not West Palm Beach, but Fort Lauderdale, where Brian was at. I was like, he's here, my best friend's here, so we just moved there. So I had a job interview down there, like a couple days after. So this is me rewinding a little bit, y'all. I'm sorry, the story is just all over the place because I'm trying to like get it right. I'm not the best storyteller. Prior to me applying for the apartment in Orlando, I went online to apply for a job where Brian was working. So I ended up applying for that job, got scheduled an interview to meet him, to Fort Lauderdale to meet him. I stopped past my old job to say hello to my employees because I was in a leadership position. So I wanted to say hello to my employees while, I was driving through the city. So I stopped by and said hello. But in the process of me saying hello, my old manager was like, "We want you back." And I'm like, "What you mean?" She was like, "We want you back." I'm like, "Okay." She was like, "We just had someone quit today." She said, "We just had somebody quit today and we want to know if you want to come back." So in my mind, I'm just like, "No, I don't want to come back." I'm already like on edge from living in Atlanta, finding out who I'm with was not, being fully faithful with me. I had a job interview in Fort Lauderdale, so it was just a lot going on in that period. So I told her I'd think about it. And Miss Deb, if you ever come across this, Miss Deb, let me know. I want to let you know thank you for that, because you opened up the opportunity for me where I am now. So I said, okay, I'll let you know, right? I never responded back after that. So I think like maybe 2 weeks went by. And I just remember by the time I got back to Atlanta, because I stayed with Brian for maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks max. It wasn't that long. So I know by the time I got back to Atlanta to get my stuff together, she emailed me again. And she was like, "Hey, just reaching back out to see if you had any thought about, coming back." And I was like, "You know what?" I was like, "This is my sign to go." So I applied. I responded back. I said, "Let me apply." I applied. Now, mind you, she reached out to my personal email address, which I don't even know where she got that from. But she got it. I ended up applying for that position. I drove down for an interview, maybe like a week or two later. Interviewed for it. Got it maybe like 2 or 3 days later. Packed my shit up in Atlanta. I didn't have a lot. Callie was with me. We was in the car. We just came back on the road, baby. We came right back on this road. We packed that little car up. Whatever I didn't have, I left it in his apartment. But that was my story of starting over. I was like, I have to start over. So I say that to say I got my first apartment when I was 29 years old by myself. 29. I was 29, and ain't no shame in my game. I was late. But you know what? It was mine. It was mine. And I say that to say, when I moved into that apartment, I cried. And I'm not a crier at all. I'm not a crier. That's just not me. Unless I'm really super, 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 super emotional. Then I'll cry, but I don't really shed tears that often, which some people say ain't healthy, but I'm just my way of showing emotions is a little different than how everybody else shows it. So I do what works, what works for me. So, yeah, but ended up getting my first apartment at 29, had no furniture. I didn't have no furniture, y'all. Nothing. I had nothing in there. Nothing in there. I slept on a pilot, as my grandmother would say. You sleeping on pilots. I slept on a little thing of blankets that I got from the thrift store, the Goodwill. I washed them so many times to make sure they was clean. But you know what? It was mine. Like I had to do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? I never forget. I had friends, and that's how I'm gonna tell you how Shay is. You know what I'm saying? Shay is a rider because I never forget. Shay and Meech and Sade, all three of them was like my dogs. They wanted to watch. It was when Love and Hip Hop was like really popular, so they wanted to watch Love and Hip Hop. So Shay, Michi, and Sade had came over to my place because they lived in Altamont as well at the time. And I was just like, I don't have no furniture. And Shay was like, we don't give a fuck about you not having no furniture. We was like, we can have a pot. She said, we can kumbaya on the floor. That was her exact words. And that's exactly what we did. I had a little 32-inch TV. And she literally, they all sat on the floor and watched TV with me. I had no couch, no table, none of that. I had none of that. And that just really spoke like volumes to me because I'm just like, damn, man, like these people are very supportive of me. And I was young. I was 29, turning 30. And that was almost 8 years ago, 8 years ago. That is crazy just to think about the process. And I keep repeating it because I'm just really in awe. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, that happened. I had no furniture for about almost a year. And I finally got a bed, but I didn't get the most expensive bed because I couldn't afford it. Because at this point, I'm paying everything on my own, right? So I didn't, I was only making what I was making at the time, which, was enough to live off of. Things weren't as expensive as they are now. They were not that expensive, but however, they are expensive now. So back then I was comfortable. I still had a couple, maybe a couple $100 to play with after I paid my bills and stuff like that. I never forget, my rent back then was $808. $808 was what I was paying for a 1-bedroom. Nice little apartment. It wasn't like renovated or nothing, but it was $808. So I paid that. And then that's when I can kind of like figure out how to like budget and stuff like that, because at that point I'm still kind of young. I didn't really have the best money management skills. Try to do this on my own and still maintain a personal life and things like that, but it ended up working out. I say that because it ended up working out. And of course, as I got older, I started learning like money management. So I stayed in that apartment for, I want to say, a year or two, maybe like 2 years. Yeah, I did 2 years there, moved out of that, and then I moved into a townhouse, which I had by myself. And I lived in that townhouse for 3 years, right? Yeah. I lived in that townhouse for maybe 3 years, moved out of that, ended up moving into another apartment by myself. No, with someone. That didn't work out that well. Ended up breaking that lease, moving into the studio that I had, that I just moved out of. So I was there for 2 years there. No, it would have been 2 years, so like a little over a year. And now I am where I am now. I just feel like I went down a rabbit hole, all of that. That's just like the beginning part of everything. How I ended up in Florida. So that's how I ended up here in Florida. But let me backtrack a little bit and take y'all back. So from DC, you probably want to know about my mom. I met my mother that I can remember when I was 18 or 19. I met my mom. Not officially, but I met her as a kid, got pictures and all of that, but I don't really remember those times because I was young. But I met my mom, and at first I ain't even gonna lie, I was a little angry because I wanted to know why, like what happened, like why did you leave? And she told me the reasoning why everything had to happen the way it happened. But I am so thankful because my grandparents raised me, and if I must say, they did a damn good job with me because a lot of my mindset, a lot of my work ethic, a lot of like how I think is an older soul. You know what I'm saying? So it just works for me. It just works. It works. It does. So I am very thankful for that. But as a kid, grandparents can't do as much and be active and things like that because they're older. So like a lot of things I end up missing out on in my childhood, especially with like being in the religion that I was, raised in, Jehovah's Witness. Couldn't do certain things, like I said. So, met my mom. We talked. That situation, it was good, but it was weird. So, maybe like a year or two went by. I had to process everything. At that point, I still was young. I was 19 years old. So I had to process everything and really like pray about it, because that was like my time. I feel like I'm about to cry a little bit. That was like my process of forgiveness. That's where I learned how to forgive. And yeah, I learned how to forgive. I had to forgive because I couldn't put that against her, like what she went through. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, she let me be with people who took care of me, and that's why I am here today. So I appreciate her on that. I had to appreciate that. So Mama, I love you for that. You did your thing when it comes to that. And now me and my mom have the best relationship. Like, we talk. She gets me, she understands everything. I tell her everything. It's funny because she wrote me the other day and was just like, she was like, son. I'm like, what's up, Mom? She was like, is that your new, older people love to say friend. Is that your new friend? Implying like, that's your boyfriend. I'm like, yes. And she was like, ooh, I knew it. I said, a mother knows best. I said, a mother knows best, girl. She was like, I knew that. I knew it. She was like, I was telling Anthony. I'm like, you're right. You absolutely right, baby. That's that. Darren is that. I was like, I can't wait for y'all to meet so y'all can meet and talk. And you can, get your own vibe and sense of his personality with your son. So that's how that story went. That's pretty much how I met my mom. Not met her, but that's how that process went when it came to that. Just a couple of general other things. Favorite color is red. Love red. Even though I'm always in like a blue piece or something colorful, I love red. Red is my favorite color. Favorite food to eat is chicken wings. As you guys know, I love a good wing. Love a good wing. I love to travel. I love to take pictures. I love content. That's always been me. Brian will tell you. Brian used to be so sick of me every time we went out. Oh my God, why you gotta take a picture everywhere we go? Cause I'm creating a memory. I need the memories just in case, and that's exactly what I got. I got memories from 15 years ago. Okay, 15. That long ago. Still have them. Probably longer than that. They still on Facebook. Facebook tell everything. But yeah, favorite color is red. Lived in Orlando. I've been in Orlando for a long time. I'm coming to the point where I do want to leave Orlando, so I'm trying to figure out my next location. But of course, I am in a relationship now, so I have to keep my partner in mind as well wherever we go. But we are working on some things, Oh, excuse me. Hopefully 2025, we will have a different city to explore and live in and just have a good time, So I'm excited about that. I am excited about that. What else? I have one sister. Well, let me correct that. I have one sister by blood, but I have 3 sisters total. My dad was married previously to my sister, whose name is Amber, who I have a niece by. And then I have her sisters, who I also pretty much grew up with. You know what I'm saying? So I call them my sisters too, Ariel and Aaliyah. They're all my family and my sisters, period. Damn, you know what I'm saying? You guys probably saw back in December, I actually linked with them. And I hadn't seen them since they was like, I want to say they was at least 21. If that. They might not even been that. I think Aaliyah's the baby, and she just turned, I think, 29. So she had to be like 16 at the time. My sister, I think, is 32 or 31. And then I think Ariel is 30. Okay, so I think they're all 2 years apart. So Aaliyah's 29. Ariel, I think, is 32. And then I think my sister maybe 33 or 34. No, she ain't not 34. She gotta be 32. I don't know. They back to back. They pretty much back to back with a little space in between. But favorite color, favorite food is chicken wings. Y'all know that. I have a pet. Her name is Callie, who you guys have seen in some of the vlogs, but she's asleep right now, so I do not want to disturb her. I'm gonna let her stay asleep. My dad does live in Florida. My mom is currently in Maryland with her husband, and my dad and his wife currently live in Orlando. Really haven't spoken to him recently, but if you're watching this, I do miss you. I wish you well. Congratulations on the wedding. Yeah. And my mom and her husband are in Maryland. In Maryland. I actually be seeing them next week because I'm going to a family reunion. At the family reunion, who we introducing? So yeah, I'm doing that. Child, see, this is why you can't let a man in the kitchen because I don't know how to multitask. I do not know how to multitask. Terrible at it. Do not recommend. So, side note, let's pause to get to know me real quick. So, they said use cream of onion and cream of mushroom soup and put this onion packet, French onion soup recipe in there with the tips. So, I'm going to do that with some beef broth. Now, my question is, how much broth do I need to put in there? That's what I need to know. Hey, Alexa, can you tell me how much broth to put in a pot stew?
It is up to you how much broth you want to add. Usually, for a pot stew, 4 cups of vegetable broth is added.
4 cups. Okay, girl. I don't think I'm gonna put 4 cups. I'm gonna do 2 because I don't have like a big ass thing of pot roast. These are like little tips, beef tips. Okay, so yeah, back to the story time. So, what do I do for work? I work in the healthcare field. I've been in the healthcare field for roughly over 10. Yeah, like 10 years. Recently transitioned. I don't even need this. There's a whole lid on here. Been in the healthcare field for roughly about 10 years. Actually longer than that, to be honest. I started when I was 21 working for the healthcare field, and currently I am still in the healthcare field. I did do retail a little bit at one point, retail management at Nordstrom. That was like 2 or 3 years. What else? I worked at Universal Studios as a kid growing up when I did move here. Like that was after Marshalls. I was like, you know what? I need more money. So Universal was paying $10. And wait, no, I'm lying. Let me backtrack. So Marshalls was my first job. Left Marshalls to go work at Old Navy. Old Navy was paying me a cute little coin at the time because it was like unlimited work, like hours. I could work whenever I wanted to work. So I was at Old Navy. I used to work open and close because it was a fun job. When I say a fun ass job, Old Navy was lit as fuck. We used to wear whatever we wanted to wear. The customers come in there and we would just have a ball, like a ball. You hear me? But after I left Old Navy, I ended up working at Universal. I was at Universal for maybe like 2 years. Hated it. Loved it in the beginning because, you know, you get to ride the rides and you get to do all that shit for free. So I love that part. I loved it. However, when it came to, I think I'm gonna do half of this. When it came to working in that damn heat, that was not for me. Working in that damn heat was not for me. And I used to be a pretty boy. Still pretty. But I was pretty. Like, I didn't want to be in the heat. I didn't want to sweat. I still don't like to sweat. But, baby, it was a mess. Uh-oh. It was a mess. That was short-lived. I would never forget. I used to be in the hallway. I used to, like, at the entrance of the ride, I used to work at Dr. Doom. So, if you guys know Dr. Doom at Islands of Adventure, that's where I used to work at for 2 years. So maybe I use the whole can with this one. I still gotta add the onions and stuff. Worked there for 2 years. Ended up quitting because I just couldn't do it alone. I couldn't do it. Ended up working my first call center job, which is at Walgreens Pharmacy. It was like a specialty pharmacy, and that's how I got introduced into like the healthcare world. I was making $10.50 an hour, which is like 50 cents more than I was making at Universal. But I got to sit down in the AC and had to worry about all that. But essentially, you know, a call center, baby, them calls is back to back to back to back. So them calls is coming back to back, honey. And I was just like, I cannot do it. So I was there for like 2 years, and I went to another position where it was off the phones, but I still had to meet like a lot of metrics, like the insurance side. So I'm like, okay, cool. Did that for maybe like a year, and then I got what happened after that? I got promoted to another position where I just had to verify prescriptions, like RXs that came in, like read like the SIG code for like the doctors and stuff like that. So I got that. That was easy, but then I was just like, you know what, this is boring. Like, I want something new. So I ended up having a homeboy who used to work with me at Walgreens. He applied for another company. He applied for that company, and he told me about it, and then I ended up applying for it just out of just like, let me just try it and see. They ended up calling me, interview, got it. Was making way more money at the time than I was there, which was like a $3, like $13, I think, at the time. And then stayed there. They gave me a promotion. Got promoted there twice. Well, actually 3 times. Got promoted, and here I am. I'm still with that company to this day. It's been 11 years. Shout out to me for being loyal, for sure. Been there for 11 long years, but I wouldn't change it. I feel like I gained a lot of knowledge throughout those 11 years that I can utilize. So that's a plus for me. So I do work in the healthcare field. I like to travel. I'm learning how to cook for the most part. Put this in here. I'm gonna put the whole thing in this, because this should make it really like, this should make it real good. And y'all, this is my first time making this. This is my first time making it, so bear with me, please. And if you have any tips, please drop them in the comments and help your boy out, because I'm learning. I am learning. But yeah, what else can I talk to y'all about? I've been in, let's talk about my relationships. I've been in, I would probably say two serious relationships. One of my relationships was 3 years. That was the longest one I've ever been in. And me and him are still cool to this day. Y'all know Pierre. Me and Pierre are still very cool. It's just like we're better off as friends. Like, that's the vibe that it gives. We're better off as friends. Like, and he is a character. P is a character child. Like, if I could say any ex that I'm cool with that I would invite to my wedding, it would be Pierre, because it's genuinely like just that, a friendship. Like, that's it. A friendship. So outside of him, I was in another relationship with someone. I would probably say that was serious. It was like almost a year. We ended up moving together, so that was it. But yeah, I think that's really, what else? I think that's really it. I didn't think this video was gonna be this long. I just thought I was gonna come in here and talk to y'all. I'm putting some peppers and stuff in here already pre-chopped up, because listen, it saves me some time, okay? It saves me some time. And it's 5:30, that quick. Jeez. And this gonna take at least 4 hours to cook. But I'm not hungry, so I should be good. Because I'm gonna shoot some content and I'm gonna edit a little bit. Do I have an onion in here? I do. Do y'all put butter? I'm supposed to put butter in here too? I'm gonna put butter in there too, just to make it a little moist. But yeah, and what? No, I think that's really all I got, guys. I don't really have much else. Met Brian, met Mike, been best friends with them Well, I met Brian through Mike. No, I'm lying. I met Mike through Brian. So I met Brian first. We actually used to work together at Walgreens. That's how we became friends. And it's crazy, y'all, because I used to go out so much back then. And Brian was like, bitch, I can't hang out with you because you party too much. And I used to be, you know, a little lit. I used to have a good time when I would go out. Y'all know I love a good time. One thing about me, I'm going to have a blast. And I don't care where I'm at. I don't care. Just imagine me being like 22, 23 years old. Carefree, running the streets, running wild, doing my thing, drinking, partying, just, woo, child. House parties. They used to have house parties back in the day to the point where the police will come. Ooh, thank God for growth. You hear me? Thank you, God, for growth, because that was a period of my life, baby, where I can genuinely say I lived my life. I was not out at the time. Now I will say that I was not out, but I lived. Okay, I lived. So that ended up happening. Brian did not want to hang out with me because he said I was too wild. But you know, he came around at one point where you know, once I kind of like started to slow down a little bit, he kind of realized that. But I used to have these lit ass house parties, y'all. Lit. I'm talking about house packed full of people, packed boots. So yeah, that's how I met Brian. Then I met Mike in Atlanta with him when we went up there one time, and we all been locked in ever since then. You know what I'm saying? Like we been locked in. Ooh, child. Those were the days. My 20s, I can actually say I lived my life in my 20s. Which I'm probably paying for the shit now. With my damn stomach pain, back pain, all of that. But yeah, my 20s was lit. And then let's fast forward to me coming out. Because I want to share that with y'all too. Before I close it out. Because I already put the stuff on there. I'm just letting you do what I need to do. I feel like I got everything I need in there, right? I got the onion, pepper, the broth, the soups, the onion pack, the butter. I'm gonna put a little bit more water in here. Broth. Just to be safe. And now I gotta turn her on. She smells seasoned. She smells good. She smells really, really good. She smells delicious. Should I put her on low? I'm putting her on low. Because I'm not that hungry. If anything, I'll eat it tomorrow. I do have leftovers I can eat tonight. Where's the lid to this? Where's the lid? Am I going crazy? I guess I threw the damn lid in the trash while talking. What? Okay. But no, let's talk about my coming out story real quick before I go. Before I let y'all go. So my coming out story went like this. Excuse me. Ooh. So my coming out story went, I'm trying to see how many minutes I'm on, 53. So my coming out story went like this. I was 29 or 30 when I came out. I went to Atlanta. Of course, I told you I lived in Atlanta. I came back from Atlanta a whole different person. Like, I feel like Atlanta like turned me out a little bit. Because at that point, like I said, I was raised there, so I wasn't able to do a lot of the, you know, things that everybody was doing around my age group. So when I went back, I experienced all of that. I went to the gay club, I went to the bars, I went to the, you know, house parties. I seen stuff. I lived it. Not lived it to a full, but you know, I witnessed certain things. So ended up coming back to Atlanta. Brian was like, friend, you okay? I'm like, what you mean am I okay? He was like, this is not, you guys know me, a lot of you know me as Vic just because that's what he calls me, but he was like, this is not the Vic that left a year ago. I'm like, well, what the hell does that mean? And he was like, you are really like a girl. He was like, you are like really like not flamboyant, but I was really like expressive with like my hand gestures, my mannerisms, like da 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 da. Let me tell you, you know what I'm saying? I came back like that because I guess that's who I surrounded myself with when I lived in Atlanta during that period. So I picked up on some of that stuff. And then I didn't even realize I was doing it so much to the point where it was just like, damn, you like really changed. But friend, he got me together. He was just like, yeah, that ain't who left here. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't thinking about it. I'm like, you right. But that was me, part of me like living my truth and discovering myself and being like comfortable and letting my hair down, because I feel like those tendencies, those traits were already in me. I just was masking them. So I ended up moving back. Of course, I like told him first, and then I told my coworkers. I went to each coworker one by one. I went to each of my coworkers one by one to tell them. Either like going out to eat with them to tell them, or just tell them at work. And you know what they told me? They said, baby, we already knew. We were just waiting on you. I said, ooh, clock that. Y'all clocked my tea. Y'all clocked my tea. I was just like, okay. At that point, I was comfortable, but I still had like 2 more people I had to tell, which was my parents, my dad and my mother. So they were the last ones on the list for me to tell. And once I told them, that was it. I didn't care. I felt like I was at peace. I was at ease. Oof. I felt like I could just live my life for me. I didn't have to mask it anymore, because listen, y'all, growing up in a household of religious family members who don't support your community is a lot. It takes a lot of toll on your mental health. I will say that, because I just look at people back then, how they were just living and being free and being able to do what they needed to do and live their life and be happy. Even the kids now, like, who are like 19, 20, 17, like young, and to be able to identify yourself and know what you like, and your parents are supportive of that. I really admire that, because I did not have that, because I was raised in a traditional Southern household, Christian household, Jehovah's Witness household, that did not play those type of games. So once I told my mom, and I told my grandmother as well before she ended up getting sick, I let her know, like, this is what it is. And she was like, I accept you anyway, like grandson. She was like, I accept you anyway. And as long as you happy. And I think those words really like registered with me, because ever since those 3 people knew, I did not care no more of who liked me, who judged me, who like accepted me. I did not give a damn no more. I did not care. I was like, my mama know, my dad know, and my grandmother know, and I'm okay. That's the only people I cared about. So ever since then, I've just been living in my truth. I've been happy mentally. I've been happy when it comes to like my lifestyle. Like, I don't care what people say about me. I don't care how they judge me. I don't care how they perceive me. Now, I'm gonna be me. At the end of the day, I'm living my life for me and nobody else. That's it. That's all. And I'm just like, who are you to judge me and tell me how to live my life? I don't get that. I don't understand it. Like, I get you can have an opinion of how I live my life, but you can't tell me what to do with my life. Clock that. But yeah, that was pretty much my coming out story. And ever since then, I've just been free as a bird, as my grandmother would say. You just as free as a bird. Just free. Going to private events, kissing my man on YouTube, just doing shit that I would never normally do back then, in that era where I was masking who I was. But ever since then, like I said, I've been happy. I have a supportive group of family members, very supportive community of friends who I adore. Like, they all accept me for who I am and love me for me, and I appreciate that from you guys as well. Like, just the amount of love and support, because, you know, I live in Florida. It's just me and my dad, and me and my dad are not really on the best of terms right now. So it's like I'm just here by myself, and so I only have my community and my tribe with me, and Brian and Alec left. So it's like my two, like Brian, the closest with, it's like he's in a whole other state. So it's just like, now it's like, damn, it's really just me. So from time to time, yes, I get a little lonely and you know that gets in my head before I met Darren. But Darren lives in Florida, but he's 2 hours away, so it's just like sometimes you get in your head and you think about like being by yourself, or I'm sorry, I had to check to make sure I still was recording. Being by yourself and like life, you think about that type of stuff, man. And sometimes it gets to you, but I'm thankful to have a supportive partner as well, because he supports me in my journey and things that I want to do. I know I be getting on his damn nerves when it comes to like content and things in that nature. Like, let me get this, let me get that. But I just feel like that's what genuinely makes me happy, and I need somebody who can support that. And I've been in relationships where people did not want to support me when it comes to my habits. I always put them first. So to be able to put myself first and still have a partner who can accept it and understand, like, hey, this is your passion, this is what you love to do, I'm gonna support you, but I also support him in what he likes to do as well. So that's very important for me. But that was really my coming out story. It was an adjustment. My dad was, I will say what my dad said before I go. He did say, you know, he was like, live your life, do you. I support you, you're still my child, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna look at you any differently. He was like, who you love is your business. And I was like, that's real. For your father to tell you something like that, that's real. Like, even my grandfather told me that. He set me down when I was in Maryland and told me that. Like, live your life. Even my cousin just wrote me. Cousin is a man's man. You hear me? Like a man. He wrote me when I posted a picture of me and Darren in Mexico, and he was like, he better treat you good. If not, we're gonna have some problems. And just that made me like feel like all warm inside, because it's love. It ain't no fake shit going on. It's like genuine love, like people who care for you, who accept you, who understand your lifestyle, they really rock with you. So shout out to you, cuz I appreciate you and I love you for that. You don't know how that touched me. That really touched me. So if you watch this, thank you for that. Cause I mean, I just needed to hear that. Sometimes we need to hear it. We need to hear certain things. But that's all I really got to say right now, y'all. I feel like this was fun. It was long. I got sidetracked. Just telling y'all a little bit of details about me. And there's so much more for y'all to learn, though. Like, so much more of who I am as a person, my character, what I stand by, my beliefs, what I enjoy doing. I'm learning how to cook. That's one of the things I'm trying to, you know, get into. Really, being in a new relationship is also new for me as well. For somebody who supports me and loves me. My friends have moved, so I'm dealing with that. Shout out to Brian and Alec if you watch this. Thank you guys for being supportive. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Shay, Day Day, Chastity, Erica. Shout out to everybody who has been nothing but supportive towards me and my journeys, my endeavors, like everything. I thank you guys. And shout out to my YouTube family. Shout out to my lovebirds for just genuinely understanding me and taking the time to comment and like and subscribe and just watch the videos all the way through, because I know them bitches be long. I know they be long. But thank you guys. I appreciate that. And yeah. But if you are new here, because I will continue to talk and I gotta shoot some content, so I'm gonna get ready to go. But if you are new here, definitely be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. This is a more of an intimate one-on-one, but I try to post weekly. Baby, these braces is killing me. You hear me? Like, the way my teeth are shifting from me wearing my rubber band, now it's like my lip keep getting stuck. So that's why I'm kind of like a little bit. But if you are new here, definitely be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I typically do weekly vlogs that come out every Sunday. I think I'm gonna switch the time back to what I had it, which was at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. I did have them posting at 12, but I saw some comments. It was just like, can you change it? But I didn't change it because of the comments. I changed it because I think I want to go back to what was authentic for me, and 11 o'clock was working for me. So I'm gonna go back to 11 o'clock. Vlogs come out every Sunday at 11 o'clock, okay? So definitely be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And in typical Lorenzo fashion, be sure to what? Tell your aunties, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, great aunts, god babies, dogs, cats, whoever it is, to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. And I will check back in with y'all next week, y'all. So I want to say peace and love. And y'all have a good night. And also, I'm going to let y'all know how this pot roast come out, too.
Many hours later.
All right, y'all. So the pot roast has been in here roughly for a few hours now. So let's see. I think I put it on around 4:30. 4:35. It's now 8:49. I will say it smells really good. Like really good. But it does not seem to be tender enough for me yet. So I'm gonna keep it in there. It looks crazy in my opinion. It does look a little suspect. I ain't gonna hold you. But this is my first time doing this. Well, I did a pot roast before, but this is my first time doing it with like the soups and all of that. I've done a pot roast. I did a pot roast, I want to say like late last year. I got the tips from Mike and Brian on how to do that. So let's see. It's giving very much, it looked like damn taco soup to me. I don't know. We're going to see how that come out. We are going to see how that comes out. But like I said, the time now is 8:51. I'm about to get my life together for the night. I just dropped a reel for the Margaritaville at Sea vlog. Well, reel. That's been sitting in my phone for like 2 weeks since I got back. So I finally just released that just now. I have part 2 coming out the day after, which is tomorrow. So if you haven't seen them already, definitely go over there and check them out. Let me know what you think. Make sure to like, comment, do all that good stuff on Instagram as well, because I give you a different content on Instagram. I'm like the creator on Instagram, but I'm still working on that too. But I kind of laid in a little bit, so my hair is a little messy. But the food smell good, y'all. I smell like somebody auntie live in this house. It smell like somebody auntie living here who know how to cook, who got that piece of meat that hang underneath their arm like that. That's what it smell like in here. Like somebody who know what they doing live in this house. But no, we gonna see how this food come out. So once it's done, I'll check back in with y'all. I'm a little nervous because it didn't look appetizing. And I'm a visual person. Like normally if it look nasty, it tastes nasty. So BRB. Y'all, let me tell you, that Beyonce, Miss Carter, she do what she do. She do what she do, baby. But I am back. I'm gonna do a taste test with y'all, cause I think the pot roast is done now. So I'm gonna do a quick taste test. I got some rice. Y'all don't judge me. I don't know how to make white. I don't know how to make white rice. So I know I can get a rice cooker, but I ain't need all that yet, cause I'm not really big on a big rice eater in itself anyway. However, I did want some rice tonight, so I got this chicken broccoli style rice. I got this. Typically I get boiled in a bag rice, and sometimes that come out mushy for me too. So I'm gonna try this tonight to see how it comes out. Hopefully it don't come out like mashed potatoes, because I don't know what I be doing wrong when it comes to cooking rice. Well, I can never get it right. However, in the meantime, while I have y'all, before I cook that and do all of that, I want to do a taste test of the beef cubes. Yeah, that beef steak, cube steaks. What are these? Beef tips? Yeah, I'm gonna do a taste test of that for you. While I still have them hot and ready, they like little Caesars. So I'm gonna take one out. Maybe maybe I'll take 2 with some of this gravy. Cause I was a little concerned, I ain't gonna hold you. Cause it was giving very much dog food, and I ain't like the way that looked. But let me turn her off, I think she is done. So I have a piece of the meat here. It was hot. Here we go. Y'all see that smoke? I'm making sure my pot is on. I probably should have put it all together. I could have did mashed potatoes with this too, but I didn't even think about getting no potatoes. I just was like, let me do rice with it. Like, put this on top of the rice. It'd probably be really good, but let's see. Okay. What'd I give it? It's not as good as my beef stew. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like when I cooked the actual roast in the Crockpot, it came out so damn good. But this isn't bad. I just feel like the flavor is not hitting the way it needs to hit. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell y'all. It's seasoned. It's definitely seasoned. But something is missing. Something's a little missing. It's something off. Oh shit, I'm gonna burn the damn water. Oh. It's good though. I'm gonna give it about an 8 out of 10. I'll give it about an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna try it with the rice and see if that makes a difference. So what did they do? In a medium saucepan, bring 2 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of margarine, which is optional, and contents of a packet to a boil. Stir, reduce heat, and simmer covered for 7 minutes or until rice is tender. It says let stand at least 2 minutes, stir, serve, and enjoy. Okay. Stir, serve, and enjoy. So that's what we about to do. We gotta put her in here. I don't have any margarine, unfortunately, so we're gonna do what we got. Okay. Put this heat down on low so she does not burn up. And I'm going to season her a little bit because I feel like just a little garlic and Creole seasoning. Well, yeah, Tony's Creole seasoning. I'm gonna put that in there with just some garlic powder to give it a little extra because I'm pretty sure this tastes like package. It tastes like package, and I don't want that. So we're gonna jazz her up a little bit, and then we're gonna plate it and we're gonna taste it all together, okay, y'all? Cause I feel like something missing. Maybe the rice is missing. Cause it's not nasty. Don't get like, I don't want y'all to take my food nasty now. Cause it's not giving nasty. It's just giving something is missing. Like I could have did something else, you know? Excuse me. But it's good. I'm still gonna tell her out of the frame. Tell her out of the frame. But it was good chatting with y'all earlier. I will say that. It was definitely good chatting with y'all. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that little Q&A. That landed over an hour. I'm just gonna add these clips in there because this happened after the fact. And yeah, so we'll pick back up tomorrow for day 1. Right? No. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. But let this cook a little bit and I will BRB in about 7 minutes, okay? Don't y'all go nowhere. Y'all stay right there and wait. Don't move. All right, y'all. And I'm back. Rice is done. It didn't come out like mashed potatoes, but I feel like this rice ain't like regular rice. Like, this is different. Because this just don't even look like rice to me. However, what was I gonna say? I was gonna make cornbread with this. I totally forgot to make the cornbread. So I think I'm gonna end up doing that tomorrow because it's 10:15 right now. I don't want to worry. I don't want to. I'm losing my train of thought every time I get on this camera. I don't want to not work. Okay, so I was supposed to make cornbread. However, I totally forgot to make the cornbread. It's 10:15, so I'm not making no cornbread tonight. What I'm gonna do is make it tomorrow when I eat this all together because tonight I'm really not that hungry. I'm just gonna do a quick little sample set and then let that be that. So we have the rice. Well, this I don't even know what the hell you call this, but it's rice. We all say it's a certain kind of rice, but I'm not really hungry, so I'm just gonna do a little bit, literally just a scoop. Am I still in frame? Hopefully. Okay, y'all. Let's see. Let me get like maybe 2 tips, maybe 3. I got some gravy on there. Okay, it looks like it's doing something now. So keep in mind, tomorrow I have cornbread with this, but tonight this is what it's giving. Can y'all see that? That's what it's giving right now. So now we can do a full taste test with the gravy on the rice, the meat, all of that. So here we are. We got the plate of food, and let's try it. Boy, it's hot. Mmm. 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 Okay. Let me find out. The only thing that was missing was the rice. Because it tastes so different now. Like, it tastes completely different. In the rice, I put a little red pepper in there to make it a little spicy. Okay. Okay, so we jumping her up from an 8 to a 9. Because this is good. Like, now that I got everything mixed on the plate, she's good. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Boy, one thing about me, I'm learning. I'm learning. And it's tender. The beef is like falling apart. So good. And typically I'm not like a gravy kind of person. Like, I'm typically not, but this shit tastes good as fuck. TikTok do it every time. I go on TikTok and I find me a little recipe and I try it. And here we are eating pot roast. I don't know what you call this. It's so good, y'all. And this is all I need for the night because it's fulfilling. It's very fulfilling. Mm-hmm. Now I just need me a little drink. I got me some juice, some V8 Splash in here. We gonna pour her in there. Darren texting me. I know he going off. Like, what the hell is he doing? Got me a little juice. Gonna give me some ice to put in here. I might get a little bit more, y'all. I might get a little bit more because it's really good. I wasn't expecting it to taste like that. Put my little juice back. I like how I put it in this. It gives it a little element, but reason I put it in that was because the carton was leaking. I'm like, what am I gonna put it in? So that was like perfect. But I got a cold drink. I had a bath. So good. So good like Destiny's Child. And it's like the peppers and onions add extra flavor, which is delicious. Delish. Cheers. I'm gonna say goodnight. I'm gonna enjoy my food. Find me a little movie to watch. Talk to my man, and I'll check back in with y'all, okay? I'll check back in with y'all.
Give away my life, so don't give away my life.